Morning. I'm not going to say good morning because it's not. When I left home it was drizzling, and it was that heavy drizzle that soaks you, and I'm only a couple of miles into the ride, but it has started to ease, so I'm taking the opportunity to make this quick intro. But it's the sort of day that I probably wouldn't have gone out so early if I hadn't made an arrangement. And that arrangement is to meet Wendy, and we're going to go over to Newark to join a Sustrans group. Now that group is being led by a chap who has been at the forefront of developing a new route. And Wendy and I accidentally stumbled upon that new route, not knowing much about it. And that route is the Trent Vale Way. I'm riding the Ribble today, and that's because it has mudguards fitted, and it did say it was going to be showery this morning, but this afternoon it's forecast to rise to about 18 degrees. So it's one of those times of the year when you really don't know what to wear. So I think with these showers, the next time I speak to you will be when we've met up with the group.
Welcome, first of all. Now we're all together. We've been welcoming folks
you were
along
going
the
to
way.
get us to swear an oath of
I
allegiance.
could just swear.
I'll crown you if you don't shut up.
So welcome everybody. So I know some of you know each other, but if you don't know people, you'll find out on the way, I'm sure. I've done 3 introductory stops already, I think. We're quite a large group, so we're not organised. We're a disorganised group, but obviously let's leave gaps between us so cars can get past us when we're on the roads. What we're doing, we're going to go from here following NCN 64 for the first couple of miles to South Scarl, then North Scarl, cut across the Spalford Woods, where there's an exciting bit through the woods on a nice little muddy track. We'll try not to fall off. And then we're going to go across the Trent Vale Trail, and I'll tell you more about the Trent Vale Trail when we get there. But in North Scarl, there's a possible added attraction, which I did refer to in the email, but Tony, if you haven't met him, this is Tony, my fellow organiser of this. So do you want to tell us about South Scarl?
Yes.
North Scarl?
North Scarl, just an ordinary little village, but they've got a playing field, and we went on it one day and we found that beyond the sort of edge of the playing field, they've got Lincoln Model Engineering Society, who've got a railway there, and once a fortnight during the summer they have a sort of a cheap tat sale of bits and pieces. There's usually a burger van there, and they're running their model railway, so worth 10 minutes having a look there. So we're going to include that in, and then Alan's going to show us all about the trail and the problems of getting money out of assorted governments and goodness knows what else. But we shall see the progress he's made on that. And his colleagues who've all worked very hard.
Everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let's set her up.
Well, as you can see, we've picked up quite a few people on the way. We stopped for a coffee stop and there were probably another 10 people waiting. So I don't know how many people we've got in the group now, but it's pretty big. Now these Sustrans rides are not like the normal British cycling guided rides in that there's no formal structure. Everybody looks after themselves and each other. It's very relaxed.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then like you say, kind of nice and more polite just to use the tractor or whatever is available.
We're having to take a detour because South Scarl are having their coronation street party, so the road was closed. But this is very pleasant actually, probably nicer than the roadway. So we've got lots of different riders here, people on normal bikes, lots of people on e-bikes, people that are riding e-bikes with no power. Today I'm on the Ribble, but I've done 32 miles so far because I rode over, met Wendy and then came over to here, and I've not used any power yet, so that's good. Well, it's warmed up a bit now and I'm now in full summer kit. 16 degrees and it's really, really pleasant. The wind's little bit of a headwind. But when I left home this morning, I was absolutely soaked. I think for the first 5 miles, it was that horrible rain that soaks you through. So I wasn't really looking forward to the day, but now it's picked up. It's great. We've got about 17 riders, we think, and it's a really nice group. For any of you that don't want to go fast, just want to trundle through the countryside, these Sustrans groups are ideal. Just approaching the playing fields in North Scarl, I think this is, and we've got a little treat in store apparently. There's a group of rail enthusiasts here, and this is one of the days they run their trains. So we've missed the train, we've arrived.
We have, I'm afraid.
The trains have all ended.
Yeah. Oh, it's that coffee.
A bit like real trains,
Coffee
really.
at Common that did it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is well cool. We're going to have to come again, right?
We will. Well, sadly we've missed the running of the trains, but this is the Lincoln and District Model Engineering Society.
Hello.
Hello. Are you a model engineer?
Well, I'm trying to.
You're training to be. You're the apprentice. He's- oh God! So I didn't realise. I didn't realise I'd said that. So how often do you do this?
Fortnightly.
Fortnightly, right?
Every Sunday, and it coincides with the conference.
Okay. And how long is the track?
I think
Third of a mile,
Third of a mile. That's quite a way, isn't it?
all the way around the field.
Right. And how many locomotives do you have?
They come and turn up.
Really? Yeah. So people bring them.
permanently here.
We've got 3 on site, and depends what members can relocate.
Right. Fantastic. It's very impressive.
So there's about, I say there's 3 on site, and there's probably about 1, 2, 3, probably about 8 to 9 in it.
Right. Excellent. Okay. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, young man.
It's okay.
This is called Spalford Warren,
Yeah.
and it was actually a rabbit warren
Okay. For
rabbits.
for food.
for food
Yeah.
and also for felt for the hat. But you know, in the 50s, you're too young to remember such times, but people wore hats a lot, often felt trilbies and things
Yeah.
like that, and they used the rabbits the rabbit fur to make felt.
Ah. I didn't know that.
That was a big thing in the 50s because most people wore a hat.
Hi, Marion. You're turning off here, yeah?
Are we? Righty-ho.
So I'm told.
Nice seeing you all. Yes. See you again.
This is the dodgy bit. We're going to go left and then turn right. Watch out.
It's only starting till 2025.
Oh, right.
I don't, well, you won't know.
Well, we're having a great day out on this trail, but of course these things don't happen by accident. And I've now been joined by the man behind it. It's Alan. And Alan's going to tell us how it all started.
Right, it all goes back about 12, 13 years when there was a lottery funded project called the Trent Vale Landscape Partnership. There's other ones like it around the country. And they were looking for ideas to unify the valley of the Trent Valley between Newark and Gainsborough, ideas to make it more welcoming to people and improving connections. I came up with this idea, having looked at the map, of joining up bits of track, bits of minor road, bits of footpath to create and cycling, walking, possibly horse riding track to link all the villages, link the wildlife and nature reserves, which is 2, and allow people to visit the area without using the cars. That idea didn't get any funding at the time, so it rumbled on, kept Sustrans involved, brought various people down the proposed route. Eventually in 2017 we decided, are we going to give up the idea, this is a dead loss, or should we go forward? And a small group of us at that time, maybe 5 or 6, decided let's try and push ahead. And we did. We contacted landowners, we contacted parish councils, and with the help of one of our guys made a little video of the route and why we wanted to do it, which was very good. All led up to a meeting in 2017 where we invited everybody and all organisations and villages and areas and cycling groups to come into presentation, and that formed the Friends of the Trent Vale Trail. But still no path, of course. At that point, the local county councillor, the late Maureen Dobson, became very supportive. She thought what a great idea it was for her patch, and she was very helpful in pointing out where to get funding, who to contact. And since then it's been a gradual building up, a bit after bit, trying for funds, getting disappointed, getting turned down, battling with that bureaucracy, but you know, overall we've achieved a lot of it. Just 1 kilometre left to go. One of the guys who's been very helpful is the guy in the county council who looks after the rights of way team. He's been very supportive. District council's been supportive recently, and basically we're looking at different sources of funding. The biggest chunk came from what's called the Leader project, which is the last of the EU funding for rural development. We just got in time before that came to an end. There's been funding from the county council. Tarmac have a landfill community fund. We got money from that. One of the big housing companies in Collingham's been very supportive, and lots of other smaller quantities from parishes, organisations, fundraising events, and so on.
But the one thing that stands out to me in all of this is that you've been incredibly determined. Many people would have given up.
Yeah, I must admit, of the original 5 of us, it was quite easy to give up at some point, but Maureen, the councillor, was very good at keeping going, and when we hit real obstacles, having a word in the right places and helping us to make progress. And you know, the numbers of Friends of the Trent Vale Trail at the moment is more like 75.
Right.
Not all active, but they are all supporters. So there's a wide group of people involved in it now. This is as far as the Trent Vale Trail goes at the moment. Behind me, it's only about 3/4 of a mile over the hill to South Clifton, and then of course you're on to Fledborough Viaduct or across to Lincoln. What we've just come on is just been done this year with grants from various places. For those of you who didn't know, not been here before, it used to be rutted, potholed, water could cross the track, you didn't know what you're going into on a bike, impassable in winter. So it's cost, how much we spent on this bit? Lost track now. Must be about £70,000 I think on that, to get from that crossroads up to here. We've got another chunk of money we've managed to get to go a bit further, but not to get us right up to South Clifton.
problem with floods. Look, 1875 it was here, 1947, not quite as high, November 2000. That was a great ride, and it was good to have an official look at that route. So we'll share the link, and obviously anyone that wants to come along for a ride, they can join in with your rides as well. If they, where will they see those advertised?
Because they're not officially public rides, we don't tend to advertise them. It's more by word of mouth.
Okay.
So if you can let me have your email,
Yep.
I'll make sure you're on the mailing list.
Okay.
And then if you want to pass it on to somebody, you can.
That's
But we
perfect.
can't advertise them as public
Officially,
rides,
understood.
Because they're not. They're just sort of friends.
Yeah.
really.
All right. Well, it's really good. Really enjoyed today, and hopefully we'll do it again. And wish you luck with the rest of the campaign. Well done.
Keep me informed.
Cheers.
Thanks.
So if any of you are in this area and you'd like to know about these rides, you can send me an email. You'll find my email address in the About section of this channel, and then I'll happily pass on the ride details to you. Well, that was a really nice group, Wendy, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. What a fantastic, friendly bunch.
Yeah.
They were really just, you know, all slow, enjoying cycling sort of people, weren't they?
They were. I mean, it was slower than our normal pace, but that was good.
They were just so enthusiastic about their cycling as well.
Yeah. And I found Alan really inspiring.
Yeah.
When you consider what we're going through, trying to get our various projects up and running, it's extremely frustrating. But it's nice to see that they had the same frustrations and felt like giving up at times, but they worked through it. And I found that quite inspiring.
Yeah. The vision and what they've achieved so far is just brilliant.
It is.
They've worked hard.
Well, we've had a great day. Sun's come out. I mean, this morning when I left, I got absolutely soaked. I thought, what am I doing? And now here we are in summer gear. Well, I've just dropped Wendy off. Got about another 8 miles to go. I'm on 64 at the moment, so it's going to be just over the 70 for the day. And what a great day it's been. The weather has really changed. We've got a really nice, pleasant end to the day. It's quite warm. Temperature's now 19 degrees C. Very pleasant. So I'll bid you farewell, and I hope you'll join us next time. Until then, I wish you safe riding and lots of sunny weather.